Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to go about troubleshooting how to fix missing data on your dashboard. Now, if you haven't watched this video discussing an overview of these next few videos on how to fix the missing data, in a nutshell, data on the dashboard, usually when it's missing, looks something like this. You're trying to pull in a specific field, but for one reason or another, it just doesn't pull through. It shows up either blank or shows up with these not applicable options where the data for some reason is disconnected from your original source and your dashboard. Now this usually comes about as a result of 5 key components where one or more of them is misconfigured. This could happen on the survey level, at the base level, the dashboard settings with mappings, some page filter errors, some widget filter errors, and then finally some role and data restriction errors. Now today, we're going to cover this lowest level that's usually the source of most of the errors in question, and it's the survey. We're going to double check to make sure that the data is pulling through in the survey correctly before we move up the hierarchy, checking these other levels before ultimately ending up at this miscellaneous section where there's usually an error and Qualtrics support needs to step in and resolve what's going on. Now with that being said, let's hop into an example dashboard and an example survey, take a look at how this could manifest and how you can go about troubleshooting this situation on your own and resolving these dashboard issues so that your widgets show up as expected. Alright, so let's go into the account and take a look at this example dashboard. So, as was shown on the slide, this example dashboard has this location data field where, as you can see, the data is blank. For some reason or another, even though this column is a valid field, and if I head over to the dashboard data section, and look up location, this field is mapped. So it doesn't seem to be a mapping problem where this guy's unmapped, nor does it seem to be where we're pulling in a field that doesn't exist. Both of those are true, but for some reason, when we head over into here, the data isn't pulling in. However, when we pull in a different field, for example, let's say we're going to add question 1 in here as a record table. Say text Q1, it pulls through with the data from Q1. So there's definitely something going on here. The information coming from the survey is going into the dashboard, but for one reason or another, this particular field just isn't working. Now, the way we go about troubleshooting a situation like this is always to head back to the source of the data to see what's going on. So in this particular scenario, if I'm looking for why location data isn't pulling in, I'd head to the source where location data originates. In this case, it's this customer satisfaction survey. I'm going to open up that source. And then once I'm in there, what you always want to check first is whether or not this field is being coded and pulled in correctly in the data analysis tab. So in this particular scenario, I'm going to go to the data analysis tab. And then once this guy loads, then we're going to look for that location data field. If it isn't pulling into the data analysis tab, then it would make sense that it wouldn't pull into the dashboard as well. But if it is pulling into the data analysis tab and is not pulling into the dashboard, then it's likely that there's something larger going on and that the problem isn't on the survey level, but it's on one of those higher levels, and we'll need to investigate that a little bit further. So this guy loaded just fine. Let's add that location data field. I believe it was embedded data. Added it in, and now we can see the problem. So everywhere in this survey, location data isn't pulling through any information. So this is the reason why once we go back to the dashboard, even though it's mapped in here, it's not pulling through anything in here because on the survey, it's not pulling any information. However, if we make a quick change in here, okay, it looks like this guy is reindexing, so it might take a bit of time for it to update and for us to make a quick change to see it on the dashboard. So while this guy is loading, I'm gonna put this on pause, and then once it finishes, I'll add some location data in here, and then we can take a look to see how this would update accordingly on the dashboard. All right, so it looks like this guy loaded in, and now what I'm going to do is add some data to location data in here, and then update it accordingly. So for example, what I'm going to do for location data is I'm going to add a filter, grab my location field, change this to, let's say, is, and then Google. And then I'm going to update location data to Google. So then now you'll see here location data has some value in here. So on the dashboard, it should pull through with the values that just updated in a little bit. So I'm gonna refresh this. Once these requests are finished pending, then we'll go back to the dashboard and take a look to make sure that location data pulled in exactly as we expect. So these guys are gonna take a while. It's gonna take a little bit for it to process, but after this is done, then we can head over to the dashboard, and then we'll see here that location will have values as it had before, and location data will pull through with values from the survey itself as it should, at least as we expect. And refresh this one more time. If it doesn't pull in just yet, I'll put this on pause. Yeah, so I'm gonna put this on pause, and once this is all complete, we're gonna head over to the dashboard and take a look to make sure it pulls in as expected. Well, at least it looks like it now just completed. So let's head over to the dashboard and see if this guy pulls in as we expect. All right, now the moment of truth. Perfect. So now you'll see here, location data does pull through with values from the survey. So before, it was all blank, but now we'll see values being pulled through. So before, it was all blank, but now we'll see values being pulled through into the dashboard itself. Now to recap, the first reason why most of the time survey data is missing from the dashboard is due to the fact that it's missing from the survey itself. And the best way to double check this is by heading into the survey, checking the field in question to make sure it has the data you're looking for, and most of the time it doesn't. So if this field doesn't have the data you're looking for, and you add the data in here or map it to a different field, then it will pull through in the dashboard in exactly the manner you'd expect. Hope that clarifies things. This is the first video in a series troubleshooting how dashboards break and how you can go about working through these different levels to fix them one by one so that your data shows up exactly as expected. In the next video, we're going to go over the next level up, your dashboard settings, and common situations that happen there that can prevent your data from showing up as expected. Then after that, next week, we'll go over some page filters, widget filters, and role and data restrictions so that you can go up this hierarchy and fix any dashboard problems that pop up in the future so that in the 1% of scenarios where it's not one of these, Qualtrics support can step in, send it to our engineering team for a second look, and then you'll be good to go. Hope that clarifies things. If you guys have any additional questions or concerns or anything else you want me to go over, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Always happy to clarify anything or go over anything further there. Thank you guys for watching, and look forward to seeing you again soon in the next video. Take care.